I don't think she'll ever understand the impact she's had on my life. And that impact is going to stay with me forever. So I can't put into words how much she means to me now. I consider her a friend now, but how grateful I am. I don't think I could ever put it into words. Yeah, I think before I lost weight, I thought losing weight would be the answer to everything. Why I was unhappy in life and why I wasn't sort of feeling fulfilled in my life and things. But actually, as I lost weight, that wasn't the answer. I needed to look at me as like a whole, really, and like my self-confidence and sort of finding my place in the world, I suppose, and being a bit kinder to myself. I think inherently for all of my life I've sort of beat myself up about excited about my size, but then it's just sort of rolled over to everything else. Yeah, I needed some help to sort of step back and look at my life and myself as a person, really, and that's what Sarah's helped me with since January. And I have got a lot out of it, and I've chatted to a couple of people have said to me that they've noticed a difference in me. Like one of my friends at weekend said, you are more confident. I think I sort of I've always come across as a confident person, but it was one of those false confidence, the big sort of bravado, when in fact I'm not confident at all. And another friend sort of said she's noticed that I'm not being as hard on myself as I was before, and I think that was something that I needed to work on. So Sarah definitely helped me with that. Oh, massive. So it's almost like I said to Sarah a couple of times, I sort of didn't see my place in the world, because I think, like I said, I thought that losing the weight would mean that would, my life would be made, and it just wasn't the case at all. I was sad a lot of the time, and and I still sort of go through sad periods, but I think everybody does, and that's part of life, isn't it? But I was quite down. I was quite like, I didn't sort of see much sort of hope for my future. Not that there was anything I was thinking any particularly bad thoughts, but I was just thinking, this is going to be my life now, this status quo, this is how my life's going to change, and the life that I sort of want and sort of dream of isn't possible, because things like that don't happen for me. And working with Sarah, she sort of, in a really good way but challenging way, and it was difficult at times, challenged my thinking. And I think because I say the same sort of things all the time, and like I said to you, I don't notice I'm doing it. Like I said to you, when I was like beating myself up, I sort of don't notice I'm doing it. In our meetings, Sarah would bring something up that I'd said, and it could be a passing comment that I'd not even sort of acknowledged had come out, but obviously Sarah had noticed it, and she would ask me about it, and quite often she sort of like just turn my thinking on its head, or she would say something and it would just stop, and she used to just laugh at she said, I love doing that to your face, because I'm just like, I've never thought of it like that before. And it was so like sort of eye-opening and mind-blowing that I just I'd never realised I was doing it, and B, what the thoughts were doing, and having someone challenging it was difficult, but it was refreshing. So I sort of told myself that, like, you really need to commit to this, and it is going to be hard. Talking about the stuff I've talked to Sarah about, and challenging the thoughts you're having in that sort of image of yourself, is really, really hard, because I was so stuck in my ways and so convinced at the age of 44 that if I didn't know myself by then I wasn't going to know myself, or there'd be no point. So I sort of decided, you've got, as hard as it is going to be, you've got to commit to each week. I expected some change, but I was realistic as well. I didn't expect that after 12 weeks I'd come out, like, oh, here I am, I'm ready to take on the world. But I expected to sort of be on my way and to have some tools to practice with. But actually, it has had a bigger impact in the 12 weeks than I thought it would do, if I'm honest, because I was probably being over cautious and under realistic about what I could do in 12 weeks, because I did commit to the programme, and because I did put my trust in Sarah, and because she's so good at what she does, and she's not afraid. She quite often said to me, like, oh, I'm not a counsellor, but she's not afraid to have those sort of level conversations with you to get you where you need to be, which sometimes the things she asks you to talk about can't be easy for her to say, but she knows that that's what you need to talk about to get to where you are. So the sort of journey I've been on and how far I've come was more than I expected at the beginning. I just expected at the beginning to sort of like have a better idea, or perhaps just to be a bit nicer to myself. But actually, I've gone there and even more, really. I sort of, I'm excited for my life ahead, and what I'm going to achieve and where I'm going, and I've got, I'm focused on where I want to be. And if you'd said to me in January when I started with Sarah that in April I'd be wearing a bikini in Mexico and putting the photos on social media, I would have told you that you were just a fantasist. But that's what happened, because that is, I can't tell you how big that is for me, because even nobody tends to put photos like that on, but I just thought, this is what I'm really pushing myself, and to do that was just like mind-blowing. I think one of the biggest outcomes of working with Sarah is my self-worth is just, God, it's increased like tenfold. I did remember saying to her in one meeting that I struggle sometimes to see the point in me, because I don't have children. I'm still single, but then I do see the point in me now. I'm good at my job. I'm a very good friend to many people. And I bring joy into a lot of people's lives. And before I started work with Sarah, I couldn't always see that. I did struggle to see my place in the world, but Sarah she just helps you to celebrate yourself and to recognise how amazing you are, and sort of all your strengths and what you are capable of. Because the things she always says to me, like in these sessions, and when because I see her for PT as well, in my PT, that she will never ever ask you to do something that she doesn't think you're capable of doing. And she's very, very easy to put your faith in. She's very good at building that relationship very quickly, and you put your trust in her. But because when you're doing something like this, you've got to, because although you're not on a limited time frame, because if you can only do those 12 weeks, because some people can only do those 12 weeks, you've got to commit quite quickly. But she does make it easy to do. So I think definitely the journaling I'll take forward. And in some of the sessions, Sarah will give you like work to do, some like homework to do. So I've kept all that to look back on, to read over if I need to, or if I need to, I could repeat the process if I wanted to. So it's little tools like that. She sort of gives you those things to do, but then we'll always encourage you if you are having a difficult time. She'll say, right, go back and look over your Martini profile or whatever it was, and go and look at what's important to you. Have your goals changed? Because it could be that my goals have changed, which is fine. My goals might have changed. So yeah, all little tools like that will really help me going forward, definitely. I just kept in my mind what I'd said to myself at the beginning, is that you've just got to go with it, and you've just got to trust the process. And like I said to you, she does make it so easy to do that. She's so sort of supportive. She sort of pushes you, but in a really good way. Do you know what I mean? She won't let you shy away from what you need to do and what you need to talk about, but in a really supportive way that you think, actually, I can do this. Because some of the sessions were really difficult. We were talking about things that it's not nice to talk about, that you don't particularly want to talk about, but I needed to talk about, and she just makes it easy really to do. And because sometimes I come out the sessions and you're exhausted, because when you're quite cathartic almost, get it out, and you're just like, but it was worth it, you know. She just made it so worthwhile. I've got more sort of hopeful about my future. I've got like a plan of what I want to achieve and focus on where I'm going. And you know, I've started to sort of question my career and what I'm doing, and which I would never have thought of before. You know, I'm things I thought I was not capable of in my job. I'm thinking actually I could probably do that. Do you know what I mean? And so it's things like that. So it's going to have sort of an impact in my professional life, and my personal life. So, and in my personal life, I can sort of see what I want my life to look like, and I'm getting a stronger belief that I can get there. I have to give myself the time to get there, but I can have the life I dream of. That it would probably be one of the best things you could ever do, but you've got to completely just give into it from the get-go and have faith in her that she knows what she's talking about. She's got your best interests at heart. I can hand on heart say that. You know, she puts her clients at the centre of everything she does. She's always there if you need her. She really does just want the best for you. She celebrates your successes with you, and she supports you through your difficult times to get you back to where, you know, into a success, because you know that it is a job, but she's so good at it. So I wouldn't hesitate in recommending Sarah, but just, I don't know, have faith from the beginning, because it's, you know, it is really worth it, and you've just got to give into it and listen to her and do it. It's as hard as it might be, just do it, because she's asking you to do it for a reason, and that reason is you.